Hello everyone. In this short video, I'll show you how to research a prospect's profile or a company and gather key insights about them. Now, why do you think this is important? Look around you. Do you think you're the only one trying to sell your product or services to this particular prospect or company? No, right? There are a number of salespeople like you trying to grab your prospect's attention. And one of the ways to stand out is to address something they care about or a recent event that took place with them. Now, what would those be? For example, your prospect recently celebrated their work anniversary. He was awarded, he or she was awarded at a recent event that took place. The account that you were chasing received a fresh round of funding, right? All of these are amazing insights that you could leverage as icebreakers. A quick stat that I like to throw out or I'd like you to keep in mind is 90% of B2B buyers do not respond to a cold outreach. Walk up to your CEO, VP, or director and ask them the emails that they receive from salespeople just like you. And how many of them do they end up responding to? Right. So let me quickly demonstrate how do you research a prospect. But before I do that, let me inform you that I'm using an extension to mask members' data. Hence, the prospects and the accounts that I'll be showing you may seem unfamiliar. Right. So starting with the prospects or the leads page, you can uncover insights or information about that prospects by going through his headline, summary, social proof, his accomplishments, leveraging some common connections, and also his activity on LinkedIn. Right. So this is how a prospects page would look like on Sales Navigator. Right. So you have things like his summary. Right. So for example, for this particular prospect, I see that he has 18 years of experience in B2B and B2C brands. He specializes in digital marketing communications, marketing transformation, etc. He was awarded at numerous events in 2018, 2017, right? So bulk load of insights about this prospects are already mentioned in his summary, right? The other thing that you should be looking at is the social profiles. For example, he has attached a link to his Twitter handle, right? So Twitter could be a good place to uncover things he cares about, maybe his hobbies, some technology trends that he continuously posts about, right? So always good, always great to search or scan through their social profiles as well, right? Now the other or the key or the most important thing is the highlights, right? So they highlight two things: one, things in common between you and the prospect, and second is that particular prospect's activity on LinkedIn, right? So let's say I go in through things that are in common. So I have 63 people in common, right? Out of those 63, 31 people we are already connected to on LinkedIn, right? So I can always leverage these people to reach out to them, to Zubin or to this particular prospect for a meeting. Then 32 people within my team or within my organization, that is LinkedIn, can help me introduce or get introduced to Zubin. Six people out of those have worked with Zubin in previous organizations like TCS, ICICI Bank, etc. Right? And four of them went to the same school. Right? So my best bet to get that first meeting or call with this particular prospect would be to leverage some of my common connections, right? The reason why I say this is because a warm introduction has a 3x more or a higher chance of a meeting than a cold outreach, right? Now look for things that this particular prospect is posting on LinkedIn, right? This is again a great way to understand what he or she is interested in, right? So if you're trying to set up that first meeting, look for those key insights or stats. If you're already in an existing relationship with this prospect, try to build a digital relationship with him by interacting or engaging with his posts on LinkedIn. Right? Then you can also look at things like experience in different organizations, the schools or the schools that he was part of, and accomplishments, right? So that's how you leverage the Sales Navigator prospect page to gather information and insights about that prospect. I'll quickly move on to the account page. See, on the account page, one, you get to know how connected are you within that account. Probably there are people that you went to school with, or your connections on LinkedIn that could be your first degree connections in that account, or your second degree, or probably your team members within your account that are already connected there. And finally, some of the employee growth trends, senior management hires, and funding signals. Right. So if I'm on the company account page, I get to see what this company does, where are they headquartered, etc., the number of employees that they have. Now, within those people, I see this is how I'm networked within this particular company called Slack, right? So, I have a first degree connection. I have almost 1,500 team link connections. So, people within my team who can get me introduced to all these people right here. And then finally, my second degree connections. If there were people in this organization who went to the same school as I did, it will also show up here, right? Now, why is this important? Again, before reaching out cold to any of the prospects, always get to know if there is somebody who you know at that organization who can facilitate those introductions. Then you move on to the news and insights. A great insight is the employee trends. So look for trends in the past 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. See what functions are growing. Now, why is this important? For example, if you're selling your products or services to that cater to the sales and business development functions, and if you see that there is growth within those functions, always a great indicator that they would be needing or requiring a solution like yours, right? And then finally, senior management hires. Again, why are these people important? If you're selling your product and services, they are most likely or more likely uh, to be looking for newer vendors or open to listening to newer features, functionalities, or offerings out there, right? Because they have been bought into because they have joined a new organization and they have bought in to do a specific task. So they're always open to listening to new vendors, right? So this is how you leverage your prospect page and the account page on LinkedIn to uncover those insights about your prospects. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.